Hey, good morning. All right, give me a sec here. Okay, so we're finally getting to the initial downside destination area that we thought where prices were going from months ago. This put a fly in the ointment, but it couldn't. McGraw, hey, how you doing? Are you still on the boat or are you back? Some nice pictures there. All right, so Seattle. All right. So, this move off of the low, I was really hoping that this wouldn't have happened back when, and it would pull back one more time into this area, and it would have been a much more desirable pattern as far as starting some kind of rally. But institutions just couldn't help themselves, several weeks down, as you see here. And yeah, it bounced. It was down quite a bit and it was close. So anyway, they did buy hand over fist over here, and we got the wide range bar, and breath confirmed it, which suggested it could have went a bit higher. And I guess they just thought, on second thought there, when this bar should have lifted it up, they lost confidence and sideways there, and down it started to go on last Thursday when they couldn't take it back up to the top of the trading range. And then Friday, what happened. So, it was a given that it had to take out this low. So now, does 100% retracement mean it's going to turn, in this area today? It might stabilize, but I don't think it's going to make any kind of a turn of significance here to get things going. They gave it the college try. What I explained in the letter at the end of the day in the green room yesterday was, when we look at this greater than 100% retracement concept as it was here, where we see, increasing momentum, decreasing momentum, decreasing momentum, this started from a 2-bar reversal. Now we have a squared or kind of a rounding top. What does that mean? Well, accumulation, there was some buying, obviously there was some distribution. And on the breakdown, we say, okay, sellers won, buyers blinked, they gave up. They couldn't take it higher, even with a big green bar, even with a bottoming tail bar and so on. And it fell. So now that accumulation turns into supply. We saw what happened. Momentum increases again. So when we see momentum pick up again, such as it is here, and it takes out the low, it may stabilize from where, well, 3,800, maybe 3,700, whatever it is. We kind of do a reset, meaning let's see whether it's today, tomorrow, Wednesday, whatever, wherever far down this thing goes, and we either get a bottoming tail bar or a green bar reversal, which may result in some kind of a move up. The reset is when it goes down and makes the lower low from there, right? What I'm saying is, let's say we did get a reversal, bottoming tail bar, and it comes up to here, and then it goes down again. What's the distance between the lows? Is momentum slowing at that time? And we'll look at market internals, which aren't lined up yet for a buy signal. So there's some gas in the tank there for it to drive lower. So we look to the left. And so as we look to the left, we see these bottoming tail bars here around 37, 3,600. And so slowing momentum, increasing momentum from here to here, 3,600 would be reasonable, but so would going down below it be somewhat reasonable. Now there's nothing over here. When we look at the futures, it's down here. I don't know if it's going to get there. Ultimately, it may not go straight down there, but you get a bounce, and then we see the next leg down, and we see if momentum slows. So this time it took multiple times for the lows to get relatively close together that resulted in that rally. So again, initial downside targets down here. It doesn't mean it's going to get here today, but we got also two wide range bars igniting a move to the downside. That's power. I think one wide range bar. That's two wide range bars. And just like that was relatively wide compared to these. And then you got another one. And we did have the breath confirmation, but it just couldn't do it. And so now we've got two bearish wide range bars. And so somewhere down here should be an initial downside target. We'll see if it gets there today or tomorrow. Clearly, this is down. It couldn't bounce from there and so on. So we look at other markets now, and we'll look at SPY to see where it's gapping to. Well, initially, yeah, this like a free fall. This is kind of edging its way down, and it's stabilized here for whatever reason, I guess above 3,800. Just like we talked last week, 3,900 was the big open interest. And it held there on Friday. You want to go up above 3,970? Yeah, I suppose. I mean, if this keeps dropping at the open, there'll be plenty of juice down below to get far enough away. But let's see where it's gapping to. Come on, wake up. It would be a good initial line in the sand, McGraw, sure. What's going on with this? Oh, shoot. I didn't shut it down on the other computer. Give me a sec. There we go. I'm showing 36.70, $1.06 by $1.08, if that's right. 30. $36.50, $1 by $1.15. Come on. Give me a sec. I'm sorry. It got between two computers. Excuse my language. All right. Well, stopped on 380. Of course, it makes sense. That's where it was going to stop initially, and it's gapping down. Buyers stepping up there. I think 3,700 area down there is should be far enough today, considering that gap and then another gap toward a bottoming tail bar. You see the tail right there. Window. $371 and change. And there's another 180 reversal right there at 368, 371. So this should be relatively strong support. 380, it's at 380 and it's gapping down. Buyers got messed up here. There you go. That was the 380, the dotted one, and down here is 370 where these pivots are. So I think for today, I think that level should hold, just with the gap down, another gap down, it's at 380. Look, sellers should be somewhat less aggressive to want to continue selling at this level after going from here down here and breaking through. So they're not stepping up in any significant way that we can see. So after going sideways that long, breaking below here, it could make a move down to there. So, watch this level at the open to see what actually happens there. And Bitcoin is getting destroyed. So that looks like it's got to go to 20,000 or lower. And we talked about the correlation here and how, well, the market did bounce, this didn't. That was kind of what's up here. That's not a good sign, that it didn't move up. And now we see a clear breakdown. And that isn't much support after all of this topping. Well, 20,000 should be an initial stopping point. There isn't much there. So we'll have to see it create some support or whatever it's going to do. And, it could be heading down to 10,000, but look, day at a time. Let's see what it does. Q's leading the way down, 280, down at support, same story. Last week, I pointed this out even while the market was initially holding up. I was like, time is running out here. How are institutions ignoring this? I think they were just in hope mode at that point. And time ran out. The number was coming. And that is what it is. They just, in the middle of the day where the markets were strong, I was saying, hey, this thing's up above 3%. And the market just, why are they not paying attention to this? And like, you can't fight it at the moment, but we knew that that's trouble. And then here you go. And, so what does that mean? That means that the market is pounding on the Fed chair's head and saying, hey, how bad do you want the pain to be? Right? Give us something here that alleviates the concern that you're just dripping it out here. So it suggests to me, I said this the last time, they should do 75 points. They want to get the pain over, let them do a whole point. But at this point, this going up like this, you would think the hands are going to be forced to do 75. 30-year going up, and that's not coming down yet, but these two are inverting again. they're going to have to take the medicine. I don't know how long they want the pain to last. Futures breaking below the low, of course. And, initially 11,000 or so. And, down from there, I'll put it at about 35%, give or take. SPX 3,700 put. Well, yeah, like every time it gets to a number like that, there's going to be a relatively large open interest, and that's where I have this initial line there at this pivot, and then this initial range down here at 3,600. Just looking at the momentum here, this stronger momentum than it was here, and the assumption is that the momentum will be slower. It's reasonable to think that it gets to 3,600. Right? Doesn't mean today, but it's reasonable to think that before we get this kind of price action, 3,600 could be in the cards. And it looks to me like there's a little open gap right down there. This always happens when these things are far apart. So I don't know. You just to be aware of it. We don't know that it's actually going to touch it, but somewhere. And 3,500, just spitballing this. I think in the S&P 500. Fuck it. E-signal. Anyway, guys, I'm going to turn it over to Dan. It's getting late. I think 3,500 in SPX is about 50% of the move from the Corona low. So keep that in mind. Overall, it looks like things are going down. Go ahead, Dan.
Good morning. Yep, those power moves Thursday and Friday. We were, totally looking lower, but it was hard to put on new positions with such a fluid move down. I mean, luckily we have very light inventory. In the weekly, we actually just have two bearish ones on TTD and Snow. I moved stop 30-minute high on both of those, look great. And the advisory letter, we only have 3 positions. Let's see here. Microsoft, we shorted 240 puts. And, this looks like the NASDAQ, power down, breakout failure into the close. So we got a total bearish bias. Things are playing out. We wanted a new low, and let's see how it sets up. But pre-market here, pre-market things are looking pretty, they're not stable. Well, they're stabilized, but we'll just wait and see. Cream, we have short 172.5 put, so we'll do 30-minute low on that. And Sen, we had bought this 1, 2, 3 over here. So that's it. Extremely light inventory. We have longs and short ideas for the letters. I canceled all the shorts because they're too expended now. If the longs hit, then they should be good to go. Gold had, crazy reversal bar or Friday, even with the dollar going up. So that was a little counterintuitive, but now look at this. Greg, I'm so glad we didn't get in this Friday. Look at this retracement. Wow. Look at that, the 200s at 172 here, and it's gapping below that. I'd say, gold, to me, gold is the hardest sector to trade. But yeah, there doesn't appear to be any good news in the market. Ukraine, China, locking down again, interest rates, inflation, oil. No good news. Bitcoin obviously is create. This is like a Black Monday for Bitcoin. Celsius, they locked up They locked up withdrawals. Binance is having problems now. Scaramucci, you could tell, was even a little, you know, a little different talking about Bitcoin on CNBC today, but he still kept his, buy and hold. He thinks in the next 2 years it's going to 100,000. So he should be doubling down today. But the Bitcoin stocks are getting decimated. Did I lose my pre-market? Yeah. Look at MicroStrategy just getting killed here. 146. Man. But Riot. Yeah, that under $5. Mara coin. A coin we had as a short. That was in the weekend letter. Remember, and a call spread. Remember I said that this was a pattern last week? I said this is a pattern we can trade up or down. And with Thursday's closing, a bearish close, Friday's bearish close, we gave it as a short, but now the gap's messing it up. It's gapping from, gapping down $12 today. So messed it up. Let's see what else I have over here. EDU. I saw this thing showing relative strength last week. Now it's gapping up here. That's worth keeping an eye on. It's far from the 20 though, but the weekly, this thing was dead. One of these Chinese education companies. But something's going on now. Maybe it does come back to life. Couple bios here perking. Excel blasted off coming in. He's worth watching. IMO $56. Bullish gap, but no price void. I just saw CCLs almost $10. These cruise ships, we had a couple nice sell setups. Look at that! Wow. Let's see that's fundamentally and recession wise and all that. That's all the way approaching the Corona lows. That is relative weakness compared, even though the broader markets are getting shellacked, they're nowhere near the Corona lows. And so for this industry, the cruise ships, that's some pain in that sector. Put wall 3,700. Here's another bio perk in here. Light volume then. CMCSA, the Jurassic Park movie. I guess one of their subsidiaries owned it, but even with the good news of the movie, gapping down with the market. Look at this beautiful W bottom over here. That is just textbook W bottom. And then you got a sell setup on the weekly. Duke, nothing. Dawn, another bio here, rocking, but doubling, no entry. So Ether, back to Bitcoin. Ether is down percentage-wise a whole lot more than Bitcoin. It's like it's a Black Monday for Bitcoin stocks. LUV and Marriott, positive mention in Barron's if the economy turns around, but no patterns. AXP, positive mention, no pattern. I remember we looked at Goldman on Friday afternoon. Look at that. And the monthly we said had a lot of room to fall. Wow, look at these multiple sandwiches, John, at the high. There was a bear sandwich followed by a bull sandwich with a price void. Wow. Blue. I remember this blue when it went public and look at this, it was $160. Wow, that's a big gap. I didn't know it was that much. Yeah, they had some positive drug approval. K alarm. Kellogg. So 5 minute high, that's good to go, you know. It's only triggering because it's strong. Spiders here. So 30 minute high, my bias is 0 DTE. 0 DTE put spread. It's 931, not rushing into anything, but that's my bias. Or let us sell off more, give us a climb on into 10 a.m. I don't